What's going on, everybody? Gustavo the 13th here with a new suit. We actually got a gquuuuuux crossover here with the Red Gundam. Now, mind you, this is the Red Gundam from 0085 when they're actually doing the clan bats and all that good stuff. But it is a 500 cost raid for ground and space, a space preference, and priority 3 for its melee. Very neat suit, actually, and in some ways, a new raid problem at a lower cost, and we'll get into the specifics of that in a minute. But one thing to keep in mind right out of the bat is that a lot of our range here is actually energy based. So the Red Gundam's beam rifle, actually energy 80% for the heat rate, 1700. That is actually a one-hit stun and has a charge. That's a 2-round burst. Both of them stun as well. Does have two, beam sabers times 2. It kind of has the aunts neutral, except in this case, instead of stabbing forward, it actually brings them over in the neutral. Almost kind of like the Seikozaku Mark II's downswing, but just as a neutral, which is kind of crazy. And a cross slash for its downswing, very a free kind of situation going on there. Vulcans actually have a pretty decent accumulation rate, although not quite as fast as other Vulcans at higher costs, or even just in things that are in the same round. But this is a big one here. We got a hammer. First of all, I think this is the first time we've ever had the Hyper Hammer as a sub-weapon. Second of all, because of how this is a sub-weapon, they actually did allow this to have more than one swing. Granted, depending on which way you swing it, the second swing will be very slow, but you can redirect it and get some extra work out of it before you move on. That being said, the saber kind of lets you set up a lot of things. You're still going to be hunting and doing the pullback and swing down with the hammer. A lot of different things, and having that extra swing does open up a little bit more protection depending on where you're at. But it is very slow. Gotta still be careful. And then, of course, the fun part, we have the bits that you probably recognize from being mostly from the Elmeth. 2 of them, funnily enough, in the 1 Year War version of the suit, it had all of them because the Elmeth didn't exist and they were just using it on these because it was actually a canceled project. So this is the one that only had 2 survive. We have a bombard and we have a focus fire. Interestingly enough, both of these do not have there's no pursuit, as you can see. I'm very surprised because we just had, what is it, the Doga sleeves have a pursuit with just 2, which is actually pretty nice. Also, another surprise, we do have a shield. But however, it is not a parryable shield. It does not let you smack shit out of the way. It is just a regular ass shield. Now, obviously, as a raid, it means that it does have shield break stance mastery, so it's not going to be that big of a deal. But, large shield out here, 4k health, pretty low even for that. Let's get into the nitty gritty here about the stats and all that good stuff. So 18k health. Ballistic resistance is 13, beam resistance is 15, melee resistance is 17, range strength is 26, melee strength is 24. So again, much like typical Gundams, very balanced across the board with all this stuff. Unfortunately, very squishy. It is like a red camphor with some weird bullshit going on when it comes to that, especially because it's not even at 20k. But again, this is also 500 cost as a baseline. Movement speed of 130, top speed of 210, so definitely going at a good clip even at this cost range. Thruster gauge of 65, however, and a turning speed of 66. That thruster gauge is a little rough, but keep in mind, Force Injector 2, it also does have EX Boost level 2 for 15 seconds, so that's very good. Part slots wise, we have close range, medium, and long range at 17, 12, and 7. That long range being that low is definitely going to mess up some of your builds. It's a little bit rough to really put a lot of defense on this while sacrificing your output. You're probably going to have to run this just like a really delicate suit if you actually want to try to get your stuff. Because it's one thing to have heavy staggers. The baseline output, as you can see here, 2k times 2, 2900. It is fine. You'll probably still do a lot without putting too much on it, but you're going to want that little extra in order to be able to finish out suits more consistently without having to constantly put yourself at risk by doing a lot of big melee shit. Because as you can see, no offensive system on this. We'll go down the line here though. Assault Booster level 2, High Performance Balancer level 1, High Spec Ambec level 2, Maneuver Armor level 2, Force Injector level 2, Melee Combat Controller level 1. It is nice that the sub-weapon at least gets 2 swings. I kind of was hoping it would be 2 so that the sabers would get more, but whatever. Shield break, stance mastery, like we said. Leg shock absorber level 2. Emergency evasion system level 2, so you can roll twice. Anti-blast stabilizer, thank goodness, because obviously it's a fucking raid. Psychemy weapon buffer, because those bitches are big. I still think that this should have flaps when they are on. It's weird that you have something that essentially has 2 giant boosters on your back and you don't get to do anything with that. They're just dead while you're boosting. But 30% reduction if you get hit in the boost in the buffers. EX boost level 2, and then link shot. So this is a little bit different than other link shots where you're like shooting certain weapons in tandem right off the bat. When you send these out, you can also do mobile shooting with your gun, your main gun. So when using a Psychemy weapon, your target weapon can be used during high speed movement. The skill will not work when the Psychemy weapon that follows your unit or a defensive Psychemy weapon. So in this case, you can keep shooting even while they're coming back on the return. The second they connect, you can't anymore. So, not always going to be consistent. They do come back at a steady rate, but you can run away from them and use it as a backup in order to shoot someone that's trying to pursue you. Very nice little flexibility. I feel like in practice, unless you're really on it and got a particular level of brain spice going on, you're probably going to forget a lot. But that's fine, because you literally have like a billion other things that you can do, including a lot of melee to just fling out shit and heavy stagger people and getting them off your back. So, let us check out the enhancement list. +1 to melee resistance for the first one, +1 to range strength for the second, +100 to shield HP for the third, and the final one at 1900 is our complex expansion, +1 to all slots for parts. And our upgradable stuff, this is for gold. This is a 3-star suit. So anti-melee reinforcement level 4, so +5 to melee resistance and +5 to range strength at the very end. Not bad at all. Our first suit like this. Very brief description. Suddenly appeared inside 6 in UC 0085 to participate in a clan battle. Nobody good plays clan battle. Never forget that. But let us bring this into practice and fuck around with it a little bit, and we will show you some of the ins and outs of how the systems work and all that good shit. If it would actually load at a decent pace, I would really appreciate it today. My bag. Please. Get on with it! There you go. Alright. Look how big they are. Look how big the bits are. Okay, so simple stun like that, like I said. And then we get into this and we get 2 stuns there. This is where things get a little bit complicated, because technically you can whip that out on the first person, do that, or just do it, you know, reversed. So on the side here. Oh, that actually hit both of them too. If that's spaced out right, there's a very good chance that you can get him heavy twice, and that's kind of crazy to think about. One thing to keep in mind though is that because these are overhead, much like the other vertical stuff, you gotta be a little bit careful of how this works out. You can see a better thing in the cross. I like how that makes a little effect in front of it too. That's really nice. One thing that I don't like, especially when you have things like the Jagan and then other very zippy suits from like Engage, this does not have aerial control as you saw in the skills. So if you fall off of something, or if you're, you know, boosting around and you go airborne, you're gonna fall like a rock. The only option that you have is to fall even faster like a rock, because you don't have aerial melee or anything like that to fuck around with. Let's try to show an example of the mobile shooting with this. Just send these out. And that's the bombard, and then I can fire with that, and then bang bang, yeah, yada yada. So you see it, it's actually reaching out. Not bad at all. Oh, you can space that out so that the second hit actually stuns again. Oh, and that's enough time to... That seemed a little... That was quite the pregnant pause, I'll just say that. Like, damn, dude. So that was the cross section. We had the rush. This is actually very persistent, and there's a good amount of accumulation there, as you can see. Well, look at this again. They do cross over. Very nice little pattern. Initial pretty. But also you do have EX boost. Good for doing a lot of cancels, maybe a lot of rolls and whatnot like that. But obviously if you do your rolls, you're going to burn through it a lot faster, so be careful. One other thing I want to... Well, I mean, anyone who's ever done a Hyper Hammer swing before knows. But like... the pullback hits as well. and you can fuck up someone real bad with that. That also means that you got to be careful with other people there. And I will also say that it does mean that when it's down on the ground and starts to pull back or pauses, it's still live. And anyone that touches that while it's on the floor like that will still get hit. There's someone that I had in another match. It's probably not the one that we're going to use, but there was another match where someone ran into it and it fucking just got wrecked and fell over. That was really fun. I don't know if you can use that to get pilots. I feel like I've seen, there's a really prolific dude that does a lot of Hammer Gundam. And I think he's done that before. There's a lot of versatility in this. And the fact that it's in a sub-weapon form is actually really powerful. Especially because, like I said, 2 swings. You got a lot of different scenarios that can play out very quickly. But because it's not necessarily the fastest thing ever, and there's a lot of wind-up on a suit that has no like offensive system or anything like that, you do got to be careful with where you're doing this. If you think you're in a situation where you have that much control, then by all means, but otherwise stick to this, do your simpler melee, use it for quick heavy stuns, and then just move on. I can show this off too, but as you can see, it doesn't do a lot to the base. There's a lot of shit you can throw at it, but the rifle's charge shot is probably going to be some of your more consistent damage. 1 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17. So 17 or so on a clip of, on a mag of 40. Not bad. Oh, is that going to be enough? Yeah. But very frail, very versatile, pretty fun. Not super keen on the lack of aerial, but we do have a couple matches that we got in here. And we're going to show off one of them from, I think, City Roads right around now. Yeah, Spartan douchebag custom. Yeah. Neat suit, shitty pilot.
Deploy at once. And be careful.
Oh boy. Ooh, I kinda like how that slots in now. This is our maiden voyage in the Red Gundam. It feels weird to fuck with it when it's literally called the Red Gundam.
Commencing operation.
No pursuit with these, even though there's just 2 that could like triangulate or whatever.
Beacon captured by the enemy. Damage detected, but you're all right. You can stay in the fight.
Oh, and he's got the Evangelion colors on immediately. Of course.
An ally was destroyed and enemy.
Oh my god.
You lost an ally unit.
Aw, the pullback was too slow. No.
An ally was destroyed and enemy mobile suit. Enemy unit destroyed.
Oh my god. Niggas little, yeah, it is super Evangelion-y. Those little leggies. What is that? Oh yeah. Oh, they both died. And he died quick too. Shit. Oh, but that's also another one.
Taking too much damage. Mobile suit's on its last legs.
Yeah, shit.
An
How does
ally-
this keep switching over?
We lost an ally unit. Beacon capture confirmed.
Wait, does this not have? Hold on. That can't be right. I thought I saw that it did.
We lost an ally unit. Enemy unit destroyed.
That wasn't really necessary.
No! Mobile suit. Been destroyed. Enemy fire incoming. Retreat.
Everyone's making the same stupid joke. Get in the Gundam.
Select a location and method for redeployment.
The hammer, really? Rectally, please. Now the hammer.
Requesting redeployment.
Oh, this one's colored like the regular ass Gundam. Oh, but that did hit him.
Beacon capture.
Oh, nope. I like landed on that too. I was gonna say the grandpa wishes it could do shit like this, dude. Like that and the ground rifle would be so much better if they weren't just regular like cumulative shots, or if they did the accumulation higher. Like they should just let them stun regularly at this point.
An ally has destroyed an enemy mobile suit.
Oh boy. Oh my god! Oh boy.
Detected, but you're all right. Shield
No!
careful.
Owie! That's mean. Oh my lord, dude.
Destroyed an enemy mobile suit. Significant damage detected. Proceed with caution.
Bing! There we go, that's a little bit better. I haven't really had a call for doing the two swings quite yet. Mostly just because, like, I don't want to fucking hit nobody I'm not supposed to.
No!
But the crossover for that is really cool. Grandpa needs MA, yeah. Grandpa just needs a boost in general. Like, they spoiled the G3 a little bit and then ignored that suit too. And it's so brutal. Especially when the EX, I think, has all the shit that it probably should have. As just an AU what-if kind of
We lost an ally unit.
situation.
Looks like we've got the...
Or just another side story version, right? That kind of thing. Oh my lord. This thing does not have any kind of aerial control though. And I'm feeling it.
Suit's on its last legs.
I don't like it. Oh my lord.
Mobile suit's been destroyed. An ally has destroyed an enemy mobile suit. Supporting fire incoming. Pull back to stay out of it.
I genuinely wonder how much damage 4 is doing right now. 3, I swear to God, you better be getting your suit. Thank you.
Long range supporting fire incoming. Requesting redeployment.
The other rough thing is that we don't really have any ODL here.
2 minutes remaining for the operation. Bases are especially valuable for this mission. Enemy fire incoming. Retreat! An ally has destroyed an enemy unit destroyed. Impressive. How'd you pull off that move?
The other thing is that it doesn't accumulate much on the base, so like if I go by myself, nothing's gonna really happen. Are we not keen on getting... Oh, it's like 2 of them here. What are you guys doing? Be nice to me. Eh. Ow, 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 ow.
1 minute remaining for the operation.
Take a that.
Push it.
Yeah! Oh. Hit the boost. Run away. Yeah. Oh, but he fucking swung at him, you bitch. Yeah.
Damage detected, but you can stay in the...
I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. No. No.
Taking too much damage. That mobile suit's on its last legs.
There.
No. Mobile suit's been destroyed. We can capture, confirm.
Oh, shield. Oh my god, there's so many funnels. Oh my god.
The mission has ended. Victory is ours. Thank goodness.
It's so fancy. Haunted bust. He did take damage though, because he had 3 of them to try to swing on. Can't deny that. Got Boyd.
Praised. Here's your reward for this battle.
So that was our example match in the red. Actually, you know what? I think the one that I did was actually in Colony. There were some other ones that we did in City, but I think I'll stick with that one. But very chaotic suit, especially with so many of them running around right now. Not that there aren't other suits at this cost range raid-wise that aren't very solid. Some of the engage examples are very good. The Night Seekers are still hanging out real tough here. The what is it? The X1 Patrol, the Zeta prototype or whatever, it's still very strong. Probably a good foil to this thing, just with the extra stuns and kind of things that can stop its bullshit pretty quickly. But this seems like it's gonna be causing the same trouble that a lot of other raid suits have been causing at other costs, because now that we have this super aggressive thing that has a lot of pursuit weapons on it and EX boost for really strong further like physical pursuit, a lot of people are going to be countering it with raids. A lot of people are going to be shifting to things that have a lot more priority, and when and if those things don't work, it's going to probably be a lot more raids and a lot less supports, and I'm sure we're going to be hearing people be pretty pissy about that for a while, because again, much like 600, 650 and all that good stuff that had their very problematic suits right now, this is kind of adding to that. So we'll see how this is going to look later on in the week if these things consistently stick around. The other thing to keep in mind is that you can fire these while moving. Also, one thing that's good to note, which makes this even scarier, because yeah, you can have someone come out of cover with EX boost, do these, have enough to get down on you, and start really letting you have it. So again, scary. A lot of bullshit to be done with this. But that is the long and short of it for the Red Gundam. If anything, I'm just glad that we do have stuff from the new series coming in. Obviously, there's a lot of different variants of the Gundam. The captured one, the one from the 1 year war before it lost all of its other bits and all that, and whatever that's going to look like. The Zaku's that are there for the clan bat and all that good stuff as the new episodes come out. So it'll be exciting to see what cost ranges those enrich and how many suits we're necessarily going to get overall, considering that as of I think last banner, the RF Gelgoog was actually like the 500th suit that we've had in the course of like 6 years, and we're still going strong, right? So good luck if you try to spin for this. Hopefully we'll be doing more matches with this because I do have it on Gus. I don't really have to worry about it being on a different account. And until next time, I hope you guys have a good rest of your morning, night, or whatever, and I'll talk to you in the next video.